Most. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Shalom Israel. Again, this is I.S.U.P.K Trinidad Tobago, right? I.S.U.P.K started out about 121st Street, Harlem, New York, again under Commander Gen.YAHANNA, right? I'm Priest and Officer Swapyala, right? Yeah, I.S.U.P.K Trinidad Tobago, right? Again, bringing the truth out here, just as, we have been brought up in right standing, having righteous fathers. And when I mean righteous fathers, men who would, lay their life down for this truth, men who would stand, for nothing, less than the truth. And again, Commanding General Yahanna, again, is the only man with that rank and that authority, throughout the nation of Israel at present, with that authority to wake up blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And as a reminder, just as we were, we were reminded, we, we remind our brothers as well, right? Again, remember to like, share, and subscribe to these classes. So, share this. Right. So that again throughout and as we continue to see our brothers and sisters being unalive, for whatever reason, it may be again, the reason behind that is the spirit that is, roaming at present because Lord, require something of us at this time. And that requirement is that we should turn back, come back to his ways. And his ways is through our record. This is why, the Bible, right? This book, again, we call, what the world know as the Bible. The world in return, again, this society, or outside of the nation of Israel, even they would look at this for some sort of guidance or some sort of confirmation on their ways of living in this society. And this is why again we as men, the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General is brought up again in that good standard. Because why? All our lives, if you're black, Latino, Native Indian, and you've been searching for truth, the truth has been out here, since 1969. And men held it down, and men, righteous black men. And when they use that term men, you always hear that a lot of us follow men, and we are asleep, but they have never ask yourself this question: have you ever followed a righteous black man? Because now throughout our records, the men that were of old and the men that were, Jesus Christ, they were black men. And even today, the men that bringing out this truth is black men. And these men are, again, are righteous black men and from a lineage or a bloodline. Or, with all records deem in Numbers 1 and 18, as the armies of the nation of Israel was called, they were named or called by the pedigree of their father. And bloodline that, that outstand was what that stand of Slovakia, in the earth, because why? The Most High God always had a repetition, and his repetition was always, to bring that reminder out, was always to remind our brothers and sisters, or remind the nation that we are royal people, a chosen people. That we are royal people, people chosen unto him, right? And this is why, when we look and we go through these records, everything was a reminder unto us. And even today, as we, being reminded, we do the same in likewise. And that reminder will be brought out again on this platform and, throughout all the schools, in the I.S.U.P.K, right? And tonight, as we look and we go into, two articles again, a lot of things are taking place right now in Trinidad, and again, the spirit that has been pushed, the spirit of as what we would deem evil to our people and wicked to our people. Because why? This is not our custom and our culture to take up the spirit or the custom or the cultures of the heathen. Because when we do that, there's the end result would always be, the unaliving of one of our brothers or one of our sisters. And because of that, we ought not to take up these customs and cultures. And this is why we have a record, a book rich in history. And that history would always be a reminder to us. And you being taught that history must be taught by righteous black men. That men that would stand for this truth, that men would, would give their life. This was our king, made mention that, which man would lay down his life for his brother. And we see the example again, with the last clothing drive that took place, in Harlem, New York on December 9th, where brothers come together in the spirit, of the Most High Christ, under commanding Gen.YAHANNA again, the leader of the nation, or the man that was chosen, the righteous black man that was chosen to wake up blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And this is why, again, any question that any brother or sister would like to ask, it would be answered. There's an answer in our records, because again, the prophets are old, the men are old. They are alive and well today. Because why? This is why that same spirit that is pushed throughout our records, it will have been passed down. And again, anybody who would do, any sort of research on the cycle of life, they would see life always had a cycle. And that cycle is something that would always, start from wrong base, grow up, and then it reach a time where, hey, it needs to be, recycled or turn over again. And this is why, again, these are reminders to us. These are reminders to us, right? Again, tonight's class, the topic again tonight is again to our brothers, and I would say black people here in Trinidad and Tobago. When I talk about black, we have or as you say, or Latino brothers or tribe of Asha, my dad tribe of Simeon, tribe of, our Puerto Rican brothers, the tribe of Ephraim, Cuban brothers and Anassa, because again throughout the Caribbean, is where again you will find a lot of these you know transversing to and fro. That as one of you know the main hub in the Caribbean, where a lot of you know transverse you know things will be taking place, where people would come and do that or travel, and there would be a place to stop and then move on. The reminder is always to us as a people, and the reminder is there. And this is why when the question is asked, to in Trinidad Tobago, who is your brother? And in this article that we're going to read, the question will be asked again, who is your brother? Right? So we will go to the first article, right? Right. And let's pull it up. Right. Right. And the article reads, it says, Cuba businessman, right? Cuba businessman, Slovakia, Cuba business owners hope for Christmas spending miracle, right? So you notice how it starts off. These are business owners, and again we go straight into Deuteronomy, as was a reminder to us. If we don't adhere to these, to these instructions, all these curses will come upon us and overtake us. And now we could read about it, and you could bring that reminder to our brothers and sisters, right? Right. Freelance correspondent, the Christmas holiday shopping season in Cuba, right, is being described as drab, with people simply not spending. In fact, business owners are hoping for a miracle. If you're Black Latino here and you live or you reside in Tobago, listen this, and again the question would always be asked, in Trinidad and Tobago, if you're Black, Latino, Native Indian, who is your brother? Because again, if these people deem to be a brother, and they hoping for their business to thrive, during this time where a lot is taking place right now in the country, because what is floating through the media or taking place right now, a lot of people, would be making mention that, this 2024, they would be introduced, into the system, or be reiterated that the property tax will take effect, and arise in the electricity bill. And these is things that that would be on the minds of our people, of Black people in Trinidad at present, because now any time coming out where the Lord put the earth, the place where everybody would be looking at way, but we know coming out of that pandemic, we know coming back, we know catching yourself, because now through all that time there was a lot of restrictions, and that restrictions taught people a lesson that without being together, or without being a brother to one another, there would be no survival. And we see the example, the results coming out of that. And now, as people demand, the Most High God open up the minds of Black people in the land. Now, These are, you know, the thoughts of our oppressors, who throughout this pandemic profited and gave a boost, and, you know, saying this is how much they made, you know, the franchise, how much millions they made off our blood, sweat, and tears, because now we are the ones who will be slaving, you know, in their franchise, in their, as we say, their bargain store, in their groceries. And now the question will be asked again is like, wait, but where is the purpose? You know, I slave, you know, I, you know, working, and then that 9 to 5, and it have no reward at the end of it. Because why? These people only have one agenda, one, you know, aim, and that is what that was always, you know, to feed off of the backs of you, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, because that spirit that is pushed, you know, throughout their families is the same spirit that they have, and this is why we have a spirit of righteousness and to always do right. And in doing so, in order for us to retain or come back to that spirit, we must come back to law, statutes, and commandments. We must be a brother to one another. We must be a sister to one another. We must be a family. And without us being a family, these other nations would always, you know, rise to the occasion and rise above with their plot and their scheme, and it will always, you know, supersede, you know, our ways or our thinking are following them, because now we following after their ways and their customs. So what will happen automatically? We become a victim or a prey to them. And this is why, you know, when you listen this, you know, these businessmen say that, you know, that they pray for America, they only see for themselves, right? Right? And it says, Mukesh Ram Singh, president of the Hoover Point Lisa's Chamber of Commerce, right, said people are holding back their cash as they brace for property tax and increased electricity rates in the new year. Right? Ramsey said businessmen who were hopeful for bumper sales are now left complaining. Right? Customers are looking to buy the necessity. The groceries are a little bit busy because of no extra disposable income. Businessmen are a bit slow right now. Businesses are a bit slow right now, he explained, right? Because not everybody, with whatever ends meet or whatever, you know, loss that will be, as we say, we make here, as we make mention that they are also, or I get all automate that they will, whatever, you know, bread we make, this is what we will use it in order to you know, pay all the bills, or to help, you know, or children, or to make whatever grocery, wherever that you know, that bread can meet, wherever that funds can meet. And as they pray for America, black people is doing other, is doing something else. And this is why, again, these are reminders to us. And again, this is not just only by extension. Here in Trinidad, again, you would see the same thing happening throughout where these 12 tribes or these brothers reside. And why we are highlighting it here, because now we have a situation or a problem, just like any, you know, brother in his household. In order to deal with that problem, we must come together as brothers under the spirit of the Most High Christ. And this is what Commanding General Yahanna has been doing since 1969. And again, you can go back and you can, you know, look at, you know, he went into and went into the Feast of Hanukkah, which just happened 8 days, 8 days, 8 days. And with these 8 days, we and who stand for this truth. Men who would, would lay their life down. And this is why, again, when our king made, he said that how we speak is not new. We do came to bring understanding. We will go into that in a little bit. And because of us not knowing or understanding truth, this is why we're in this condition today. And this is why, again, every time we, on this platform, that the Lord, had provided and this time where conflict is happening over in the Middle East and a lot of unaliving is taking place. The Most High God is doing something right now on this side of the earth. Because why? It's this side of the earth is where the majority of our brothers and sisters reside. Because again, we are scattered through the four corners of the earth. And again, through the prophecies that was recorded, again, Jacob, telling his sons and them, these sons who would grow to become the nation that will rule the earth. This is what will happen to them if they don't adhere to follow these instructions. And we could be reading about it, because now the nation that that is beneath us will rise up above us very high, and we will come down very low. We are in a low state. But know this, the Lord always made that provision, and now we out. And now we out is in this school, because now throughout our records was schools, that men would sit down in and be taught and know the history. But because our religion and Christianity, they take that and turn into something and brought it to a place, as you say, our house, where it will be a melting pot and everybody could come in. But that everybody coming in was always to keep you down. Oracles now here in Trinidad Tobago, and they do all oracles and say a lot of people would go into this, and they would teach their own game. But in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General, and the men that went into our records was men that hold, and the men that are alive and well today. The men that will hold these records and keep them, as you say in Ezekiel, and we read that again in a little bit, that men would do what? Would be watchmen for the people and let them know, hey, we as a people and as a nation must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, must come back to our heritage, must come back to our culture. Right? Right? So you read a little more, right? And it's a Cuba businessman, right? Azab Khan, and these again is the children, I would say, Elam East India. These are the ones who are over us right now, here at present in Trinidad and Tobago. And if you didn't know, you know now. These are the people that oppress us. These are, as you say, these are the business owners. These are the ones, who own, as you say, all your car dealership. These are the ones who own all, your groceries. These are the ones who would move side to side with the 1%. These are the ones who would move side to side with the Chinese businessmen. These are the ones who, would have that top seat, in real estate, where they came as indentured workers and end up being, your boss or your slave master, and then telling your brothers that, hey, when our brothers and sisters from the tribe of Asha come across, they should go back, close the borders. Just like, again, our brothers are the tribe of Judah or the North American Indians. It's the same thing our oppressor does. When when the brother, as you see, tribe of I.S.U.P.K or these, Zebulon or Asher come to their borders, they would say, hey, why did they go back? And again, this is why it is important to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why reminders to us, right? So, right? So we don't say Cuba businessman Azad Khan said sales have been very slow right? Which was also compounded by bad weather, right? And unavailability of goods. However, Khan said he was hoping for a Christmas miracle. SHALAM said, right? For a Christmas miracle, right? Ramsing, right? So you see, then listen the names of the people and them, as you say, who pushing this agenda, who on this platform, in where they would get all that attention on this media platform and article. But again, notice if you're Black, Latino, or Native Indian, and again, and they reside in Trinidad Tobago and throughout the Caribbean, because again, in Trinidad Tobago, again, we are from the tribe of Benjamin, again, through the Caribbean islands. And we know how things roll, or how things, is structured in this country. But a lot of times we turn a blind eye to it, or we get ourselves involved in that. We go read the next article, they will see. When we get involved in it, and we start to take up the custom and the culture, and as we say, or try to run the ways of the heathen, the end result is not nice, and it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Because now reading on certain businessmen, as we say, of the other nation, or the people that are rule over us, praying for America to do what? So their gain or their empire can continue to build, and you will continue to be where? In the ghettos, in the bayou, in the reservation, in the slums. By doing what? By not following the ways that our Father had laid for us. Right? Right? Ramsing also said businessmen have not given up and are still optimistic that sales will pick up, right? On and after December 19th, the day set for salaries and payback for public servants. Shalom says, right? And payback for public servants, right? So now, again, everything was always structured and always had a business strategy behind it. Because now they are the ones who sit at these seats, and they would know well what salaries will be coming out, and they know, as you say, had a connection. Because again, which Black, Latino, and Native Indian again will be sitting again in these seats, and then to the top, where these businessmen and them would be running business, and you know have that spirit to remind their brothers. Even though some of them would be sitting in some of these, they would always have the spirit of oppression and always keep to themselves. Because why? They've been highlighted with always, bring a bad light onto them. And this is why these businessmen would always, choose out, as we say, the weak, or as we say, or the sellout amongst us. Because they know when they do that, it would fare well with them. Just like we see many stories, or many things where, a lot of our brothers would they deem themselves to be, the slave master, or as we say, the house Negro, or the person that would live again or serve the slave master. And I would say, hey, I good, but my brother, if you want, he had a bow. And this is why, again, in our record, say, the Most High reserved, 7,000 or 7,000 men who have not bowed to Baal and would not worship, again, these images, or would not follow after these customs. Because why? These customs will destroy us. These customs will destroy our people. And you being a brother to your brother, you being a sister, you would always be arch rivals or enemies. And this is why, again, every reminder is, needed at this time. And as earth is, is, you know, yes, I mean, I was about that. Yeah, and as the earth at this time is facing, or the Most High God is bringing the judgment down in the earth. This is why we as a people and a nation would always be reminded. Right? So, let me just share two articles there. I'll share this. So now, right? Let's share them too. Yeah, well, you can just pull up the foods.
The Christmas holiday shopping.
Yeah, that the first one. Pull up that one first. Because we're going into, or again, here in Trinidad, again, Trinidad and Tobago, who is your brother? So now the two articles now, you showing, or they were showing, you want to show that, or the question is asked in Trinidad, to the our brothers and sisters or black people in Trinidad and Tobago, who is your brother? Right? So we could read from read to the pathway by consumers. Or if you want to let's read from my consumers. Let's say consumers are looking to buy necessity. You read from there. And that's it.
Guardian Media. Consumers are looking to buy the necessities, the groceries are a little bit busy because of no extra disposable income. Businesses are a bit slow right now. He explains. Hoover businessman Assad Khan said sales have been very slow, which was also compounded by bad weather and unavailability of goods. However, Khan said he was hoping for a Christmas miracle.
Right. So now when again, this is how they always try to make excuses, because as you say, like they say, God is at Trini. What can stop at Trini from going and, as you say, from doing any shopping or doing whatever they want to do? Again, these is just again men who seeking on their own belly. Right, go ahead.
Ram Singh also said businessmen have not given up and are still optimistic that sales may pick up on and after December 19, the day set for salaries and back pay for public servants.
Who, and again, who gave me that insight? who let he know that this is the day that, because again, this is business. And the people them that sitting in these seats and them is brothers. East Indians are all the brothers sitting in high seats. Chinese, all these men and them. Because why? These is people who is brother to the brothers. And they will always let you know, hey, now this is who gets salary this time. This is who salary coming through. Because why? They sit in all the high seat in the banking. In every place again, because why? Just as in our record say, the nation that is beneath thee will rise up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. This is if you didn't know it, you would know true righteous black men teaching this. And again, this is in our records. These remind us unto us. And this is why again when we ask the question in Trinidad and Tobago, who is your brother? And we talk about black people. Now we reading and we see a family connection. They open for America so that the family can thrive. What about our brothers and sisters, as we say, on these street corners? Who as we say, facing, as we say, daily challenges every day. These things are reminders.
But the property tax, electricity rates coming early in the new year, people are watching every dollar this Christmas, he said.
So them watching every dollar. We watching every dollar. Or black people watching every dollar. Again, look, let's know that something. So the property tax is not applying to them. The electricity rate is not applying to them. Again, it's time that we should wake up and understand that we as a people, the only way back is through these laws, statutes, and commandments. And these are reminders unto us. Right, go ahead.
Ram Singh said a lot of businessmen are also not investing in many goods like toys because of a lack of foreign exchange. He said some businessmen have also not been able to have a latest stock on display for sales because of backlog and delays at the port.
Right. So now this is them making mention of what taking place amongst them. And again, this is why we as a people must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. So we read about businessmen, as you say, or the heathen and them praying for America. Look at what happened to us when we join, or as we say, or take up the customers that follow, as we say, and not follow the ways of the Lord. Right? So follow the next article. Yeah, go ahead.
Chaos at courts. Relatives vows revenge as off-duty cop kills brother, sister outside Sawa mega store.
Right. So so now we're looking at some people, as we say, these heathen, and we say, or these other nations, or the East Indian, they pray for America. Now look at what's happening now in our community. And as you read the story, then you will see why we shouldn't join or follow the way or the customs. Because now, by doing that, this is the end result of us. So now them waiting for a dream to come true. When we know in return now, by following the customs or the ways, and taking as we say, or ends, or as I say, our daily bread with the Most High gave we, and they will try to run down after the custom or the ways of the heathen, this would be the end result of us. Right? Again, it's a sad thing to see brothers, and sisters being unalive daily. And the heathen and them, you know, and living in the lifestyle or in heaven as we've been taught throughout our records. And the condition that we are in, the Most High God always made that provision and our way back. And that way back is true. The men that the Lord chose, righteous black men. And these men, again, you will only find in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General. Right? Go ahead.
A mother who was painting her home for Christmas had to abandon it when she received the shocking news that her 2 children had been shot dead at the corner of the mega store in Sawa yesterday.
So around this time of the year, a lot of us, or as you say, black people, Latino people, again, all people would be in that vibe or that spirit. Because why? That spirit was always that spirit, that had been pushed, throughout the airwaves. And if you're true, if you listen to any radio station at any given point in time, this has always been pushed. So now these men, as we say, or radio announcers, who's supposed to be black people, who's supposed to be, knowing truth and understanding, because of society, because of they not understanding what it means to be a brother, they push agenda of the heathen. So now throughout the airwaves, it be some days before Christmas, where's your Christmas meal? So, and songs, as we say, right through and pushing that spirit. And again, not understanding truth and not understanding that people are accustomed, it dissuades that spirit that will do what? That will bring your family, as we say, the tears, the trauma, to the point where it's like, why wrong, Lord? That we like the other like to say, why do wrong, Lord? Why me? Why this happening to me? And every day you see it happen, the Lord answering your question right in front of their face. And because religion, the ways or the customs of you not being a people or your brother not being a brother to you in Trinidad, this would be the end result. Because now that reminder is not there. And this is why, again, it have men on the ground in Trinidad, in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General, bring this reminder. This is the platform that we own. Bring that reminder to brothers. Don't follow the ways of the heathen. Don't take up the custom. Don't follow the ways, because why? You would see this happening more regular. And every holiday or every, as you say, that they celebrate the custom of the heathen, it will always result in the unaliving of black people. And this is a reminder to us. Right? Go ahead.
A mother who was painting her home for Christmas had. I was in my house painting. I now get the phone call and I ran out. But here what I telling you, you see this coming new year? I swear on my life and over my children life, no police officer can get to pass by me with nothing. Abigail John, whose hand had paint stained, told reporters at the scene yesterday.
Right. So now with that rage, or as you say, why should it be? Why should it be? Because again, the spirit that is in the air, the Most High God is still in the air. You see that why I say, come out my people, come out of my people. That spirit is a spirit that would bring your family. And again, this is our old custom, and again, we don't allow, we go into a history on it to show you that, hey, on that day, that was the celebration and we want him run. Right question.
Yes, like I said, when you get some more information with the story, you know, just know to it. You see, any police officer have had some money for the
You read it that
for the people that there, and when you watch it, then they say right through the year they have money, but now what you're going on now, everybody when they get our money for the Christmas and thing, you have to know.
And as I say, even the people when you read now, this whole thing have a, as I say, have a line, ways and customs that we as a people are not supposed to be following. Because now when you go back and you read in the law now, you're not supposed to cheat your brother. You're not supposed to sell your brother, just say anything or just say or try to, steal or all these things right there. You cheating your brother or you trying to outsmart your brother, it's evil. You go to the book of Leviticus, you get all these as we say right there. And this is what we see playing all right there. But you know what? Because of religion and because of Christianity and because of the doctrine and us thinking that we could be Rasta, we could be Muslim, we could be Hindu, we could be Pentecostal, Baptist. Us thinking that we could be that and not understanding, hey, this is just a cloud over, because now we read in an article that these heathen and them is businessmen. They praying that the business thrive. But we know doing what? We know trying to make our ends meet, or as we say, try to live or try to meet the means of our everyday lifestyle. And by doing that now, what we go start to do now, we start to pick up the custom, because now these businessmen and them again, if we're going to, we don't own no shipping ports, we don't own no banks or nothing. Everything that coming or every commerce that is being taken place is on a level are the people that is over us, the Indian, the Chinese, the 1%ers. Every level of business are taking place. They are the ones who run these businesses. And that we, as you say, as pawns, with all this fall victim or prey to that. Because now we thinking that they are our brother, but really and truly they are not our brothers. They are not our family. But why they deem us to be their family? Because why? They could thrive over us. And the miracle that they pray for you, they're praying for you to spend your money, your lives. That's the reality about it. Right? Go ahead. Yes, if you get read on. Let's see, read more. That's it. Again? Again, these are reminders unto us. And again, as that time draw closer, and as anyone, it's like how they say the 19th day. This is the spirit that has been pushed. So now what take place now? A lot of our brothers and sisters, as we say, who on the bird line, who as we say, I'm not, an enemy end. And that little struggle, they would be, trying to hold their out or hold their all out to do what? To try to make their family or the children, happy. But that is not how it does make your children happy. That is not how it does make your family happy. The only way you could be happy as a family is by coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Like again, by walking after the ways that the Most High God provide to us as a father, sending our King Yahushua Jesus Christ to bring that understanding to us. Right? Yeah?
And Christmas shopping inside the mega store of the Children Highway ended abruptly when the siblings were shot dead by an off-duty police officer in the car park.
Right? So now, brother, like, go ahead.
Following the shocking incident, which occurred around 1 p.m., tension fled and threats were issued towards the peculiar person, police officer, by relatives of the brother and sister.
Right? So these family members, as they say, started to do what? Started let them know, just like how we, I just say it in this way, but we know as you say attention fled. So we know how heated it is, and that conversation could be, because now it's like the end result of this is lies being taken. And who lies being taken? Family, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service did not issue any statement up to last night, but police officers who spoke to the media claimed that the siblings, in company with three others, had attempted to rob the off-duty officer when he drew his licensed firearm and shot them.
So say that no reporting come out, right? Now they say no in right after this last night, right? Then it say, but police officers who spoke with the media claimed. So now this is with a pushing on the media. So nobody was in talk, but now police talking. So what I telling you, something done start to push, a narrative done start to push. That narrative or that story done start to push. So now, from the time that drop, robbery, they're trying to, but let me read on a little more.
Simeon Leslie, 33, ran a short distance and collapsed in a drain, while his sister, Shania Leslie, 35, died next to a black Hilux van in which she had arrived at the location minutes before.
Right? So brother 33, this is 35. Go ahead.
Another man, Nathan Pay, 31, remained hospitalized up to yesterday evening. Two other men whose identities could not be confirmed up to last night also remain under medical care for gunshot injuries.
Right? So now, as you read on any article, it was how much of them? It was five of them. Five of them. And again, you will see what go on more as you read on down. Go ahead.
The officer was also said to have been taken to the hospital for minor injuries.
Right.
All five said to be from Schumacher Lavantel.
So now one time, the setup or label them, this is where they come out. Just as in the record where you say what good can come out of Nazareth. What good can come out of the ghetto?
Yes, so like I said,
Go ahead.
Just to say now the police are swinging it, right? They say now the officer now get treated for minor injuries, right? But then you have five persons You have 5 persons close to you now, so now you get chance now to so it's like how you could get wounded, right? With 5 people then now, and then after now you're able to shoot you're able to shoot 5 of them.
Yeah.
5 persons itself.
Yeah.
It
can nothing not enough.
Yeah.
And again, it come back again, just like been taught, and again, in the classes that they taught, it Commander General GEN.YAHANNA, and then, a lot of these things taking place, as they say, a fear for my life, a fear for my life. So automatically, that get the license to do what?
Kill.
Because a fear for my life. And again, this is why again, Trinidad Tobago, who is your brother? Who is your brother? Right? Go ahead.
The officer also said to have been taken to hospital for minor injuries. All 5 said to be from Chumaka The family story. The official police report, though, were in stark contrast to the given by relatives of the deceased.
So now you read the police story, now reading the family story now. So now again, this is why in here it happens, and a righteous man. So now every story has 2 sides, and we have a judge after to bring that judgment on these 2 stories. Because no question will be asked. Go ahead.
They said that Shania knew her killer and that she had fallen victim to a scam by him.
Right. So one time again, this is we thinking that these people or these, as you say, this is my brother, this is my family. And again, because us learning the way or the customs that they hidden, we always try to, as you say, to scam one another or try to outsmart one another. Go ahead.
They said that Shania knew her killer and that she had fallen victim to a scam by him. He had promised that he was able to obtain items for her from courts at half price. As a result, last week she had handed over 11,000 for a certain item. When she had released, the officer was not keeping his side of the bargain. She decided to retrieve her money.
So now, listen, so now she here again, and this happening. This is happening now. This is and a lot of this is happening right now. A lot of people under, as you say, in these places and them would always try to get that side cut or that side flip. Because again, the breaking, it can't even help or feed the family. So now everybody looking for a side bread. And this officer now was the middleman to run that operation. Because why? The duty that, as you say, he's supposed to do what, to protect and serve, he's doing the opposite. And this is why, again, when we tell our brothers and sisters, by you joining, the oppressors, military, or the oppressors force, you will always be rival with your brothers, you will always be rival with your sisters, without, any remorse, any compassion. And now the spirit that you have on is the spirit that your oppressor. And your first first instinct is to do what? Is to honor life. Because now, why? There is a spirit that they carry. Right? So now $11,000 pass. 11,000 pass. And not seeing, as we say, the item or what they agree on. The sister decide whether you're going now or go back money. Go ahead. Read more.
After a number of attempts, Shania was eventually able to contact the officer via phone yesterday, and he advised her to meet him at the mega store.
So now, remember, this is the story now. So now she didn't went down there, so she trying to get back she money. And again, everybody here will Trinidad know, hey, just listening this, you know, hey, this is how this going down. Because now you give somebody money and you keep on going, hey, meet me so and so.
It could not have been confirmed if they met the officer in the store or in the car park, but when the five did meet him, the fatal gunshot ran out.
So now again, just listening this now. Now it's showing that how piece of the story missing. So the jump from the phone call to meet in the car park, in the car park. So you see some missing there.
Yeah, and so like I said, then after everybody, when they say nothing, an scuffle,
Something missing.
Yeah,
So that was there something missing, right? Go ahead.
Arriving at the scene about 45 minutes after the incident, Abigail John, the mother of the victim, said her children murdered stemmed from the scam.
Go ahead.
I was at home painting at the time when I got a phone call that my children dead, she said. John denied the two had gone to carry out any robbery, but was aware that her daughter wanted to retrieve the 11,000.
Right. Go ahead.
Khadija Moore was said she was the goddaughter of Shania and stepdaughter of Simeon. Said the deal with the officer was that he could obtain items from the store at half price.
Right. Remember, don't go be conversing, eh? There she go. That's what we conversing. Go ahead.
They are saying you will get half, half off. They giving you a bill and everything, and them telling you that the people will bring the items for you in the back,
How do it?
out in the back,
Go ahead.
truck to collect, she said.
Right.
Moore said when Shania realized she was not getting the items, she decided she no longer wanted to be part of the deal and demand that she be repaid for her money.
So now she realized something. She realized this. See me? I don't want that deal again. So now you done it already. You done part of something. It have consequences. Say it. Now you decide that you want to pull out of it. Go ahead.
It is said last week she paid that 11,000 of her Christmas money that the person is not seeing Christmas. I do not care what anybody say. He's not seeing Christmas.
So she takes your money and she pay. Go ahead.
More yell. She also pointed at two other police officers in uniform who were standing next to Simeon Leslie body, claiming that they were the same two officers who had dropped off Shania at her home in Laventille after she had handed over the money.
Yes. See what's going on there. So now she pointed out because remember now when you listen to this, you see how everything is showing again because I scamming and because you thinking that you could get away with it. This is the end result.
So like I said,
Go ahead.
I don't know if them police are not like this officer taken from it from because they end up with the same they had that next police officer was in the scam with when in with NHA. But these people now they didn't go this way. They didn't go this way when they see in the like a whole year and something. They didn't get through the house. So now them decide now to go to the relevant authorities and thing and let them know this is what the PA thing thinking they'll get through the house and things. So them people right. So that will happen. So I don't know now like they're watching this because a police officer have to get convicted what you do now and look it happen this week here and all through now.
So again and you see again that spirit that roaming right now in Trinidad again. And this is why, again, when we say, hey, marching, those solve problems. You see that problem here? Where if you go out and you march and you go solve the problem, or you go out and you march and have a problem. Now that problem, it must go to council to get resolved. It must go to council to get resolved. And because, as I said, not having that right council, this is the end result. Because now what happens? Now we take matters into their own hands. Into their own hands, and that, I say, that's the reality about it. Because now again, learning in the truth, a demon only have one job, and that to destroy. And when you done that, is it move on. Next job. Go ahead.
They are the police officers there who came home with my godmother. The same night she gets scammed. What is going on? If all your police cannot do all your job, then give it to somebody else who wants it. Up to yesterday, she gave me 200 for Christmas. Shouted more.
Right.
When the revenge comes, then the people will say that the people wicked, but they do not know who was doing the wickedness first. It go reach home right by them. It's not going far. It is right home by them, he said.
And again, this again, Bracketaya Yawashai, Commander General Yana. See this book? These records on them, they live in the real. And the spirit that inside of this, and the men that bring these reminders, they're real. Because why? We're watching, as we say, a true life story playing out, and we can go right this side and read about it, and read the warnings about it, and read the reminders about it, and that we go read a couple scriptures on it, basically as a reminder. We are people taking up customs and culture these nations, and again, this is what said it best, right? Amen. Matthew, right? And Matthew 12. Matthew 12. Matthew 12. 46. 46. Okay. 12 and 46. It's not at 46.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Right? So now we know this is our King Yahushua, Jesus Christ, which you will know him as, as he in the midst, again, teaching. And this is why when we see, again, when you see black men or righteous black men in the I.S.U.P.K on the corners, on the command general and on the corners teaching, know this. We are out there for one purpose. Because why? We out there to bring a reminder to our brothers, just like how we were reminded. And in saying this, and letting brothers and sisters know, in Trinidad and Tobago, when the question is asked, who is your brother? The men in the I.S.U.P.K under command of General YAHANNA is your brother, right in Trinidad and Tobago. Because why? We would bring that reminder to you. Imam, your pastor, you know, your religious, all the religious leaders will bring that reminder to you. Because why? They are about their own gain of own belly. And this is why now when Christ, our King Yahweh, he was reminding brothers, reminding sisters, right? He was reminding family that we have a power, or we have a father who require nothing less than us being right, nothing less. And this is why these reminders will be brought out. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 47. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren?
So now he asking, you know, the brother, the man, one of the disciples, he say, who is my brother? Who is my mother? Go ahead.
Verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciple and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
Right? See, he said, look, this is my mother and this is my brethren. Go ahead.
Verse 50. For whosoever shall do with the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Because why? We have a spirit that the Lord have on we, or the nation of Israel as a people. And that spirit is the spirit that truth. And that spirit is the spirit that, you know, with love, just as our King Yahweh Jesus Christ did mention. And these two are all the laws and the commandments. The first is like unto the second, because now we always is a Lord. But now to acknowledge you being a brother, to your brother, you being a sister, to your sister, it always had some, you know, some line of error in between that. Because why? Because of the society that we decide, or the people or the nations of people we decide to follow, brought that spirit upon us. Because why? We take up that spirit and we take up that custom. And this is why, again, he said, whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. This is my family. This is my family. This is my brother. Because why? We have a job. Because now we outside teaching. And as you say, teach men to be, as you say, go out and retrieve your brother. Because now the society that we in, it's so, as you say, so violent, so evil, and so wicked. The men that running or carrying out the affairs in the society corrupted. And because it corrupted, this is the end result. They would seek there for their own belly or their own gain. That why I read the two articles. One praying for a miracle and another one mourning. Who is the one mourning? Us. We as a people, because why? Because the Lord requires some of us. Right? Amen. Right? Give up First John 2. First John 2. First John this way. First John 2 and 7.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 7. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which you had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which you have heard from the beginning.
Because why? Our King Yahweh Jesus Christ didn't teach nothing new. He did. We will read what is in new. Go ahead.
Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past, and the truth light now shineth.
Because why? It's something that must be taught in our community. Truth must be taught in our community in order to remove, or as you say, to remove that evil, right? 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 Because why? Walking did, he brought understanding to the law. We didn't understand the law before him. This is why it light unto us now, because now before this, we know it have a adultery law. We know it, as we say, it had the laws just as I make mention concerning you not cheating your brother. But we didn't really understand the purpose behind it or the care. Because why? That's why I say on these two have all the laws, because this is what we be like. Because now we being a brother to one another, or being family, it would be a light unto us. Go ahead.
Verse 10, he that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Read verse 9, Salah.
He that saith he is the light, and hateth his brother, is in darkness even until now.
And that part there is what we don't want to miss, because why? This again, our religion or the ways that the heathen cause us in, as we say, in this pathway, because now the custom and culture that we pick up, now as we say, they deem to be light, religion, the pastor, the imam, they be light. But now what? He that is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now. This is why now when you celebrate, or you say, or you carry out all the customs at the heathen, know this. This is what will cause us as a people to be, as we say, in this situation today. Because why? We stop follow the ways that the Most. And 13 and 34, right?
John chapter 13 and verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another.
And we didn't have brother family, but we didn't understand what it means to love your brother. This is why I knew. And this is why, when you see, as you see with people, this people, and you read why the Most High God let Ezekiel tell them to do this. Because why? This is who he is. We didn't understand that. What it is, what it means to be a brother to a brother. And this is why, when you see us, as we say, all these things happening to us, is because now this is what we don't understand. So now we thinking we know the records, or we know Bible, or we know history, or we know the records. But you know, we don't understand. We lack that one thing. A lot of people will say, yeah, read this, and these two are all the laws and the commandments. To love your neighbor, yourself. And this is was one of the words that was, was off. Because now again, that word neighbor supposed to mean brother. Because now this is our history. This is our book. This is our book. And the earth would never know, or again, or the nation would never know or understand what brotherhood is unless you come in the I.S.U.P.K under command of General. Outside of this, outside of the truth, you might say I is a brother, but not to understand what it means to be a brother, it takes great sacrifice. And when we see what takes place again a lot, and it proves it even more, and to show that hey, that spirit live in the I.S.U.P.K. Go back and look, as you see at the clips or the videos, that brothers went out and make sure that the brother was clothed, and that straight out of the records. See, when I was at hunger, you feed. When I was at thirst, you me what? You clothed me. Christ say this. Christ say this. Or King Yahushua say this. And it's the same thing or the same spirit that you see in the I.S.U.P.K under command of General YAHANNA. That same spirit pushing. Right? Read over that one more time, Bible question.
John chapter 13 and verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you.
And why? This is why when I ask the question, or as you say, who's up in class Trinidad Tobago, who is your brother? Who is your brother? And read the two articles. And it shows you now, in these two articles, it have one family seeking the own gain or the own interest, and then it have one family now grieving and mourning. Who is your brother? Yeah. Yeah, Shalom T. Williams, right? Yeah. I speak you woman the truth, right? Yeah, don't know. Don't know. Again. And this is why that spirit is in this school. Because why? It have righteous black men in this body. Men that will be fathers, be brothers, and be sisters, and with demonstrate or as you say, carry that same spirit or that same vibe of the Lord. Because why? His family. And understanding what family is what is going to bring us out of this condition. Because why? This is what it means to be a brother. It takes sacrifice. And he say, as a king make mention, he say, which man will lay down his life for you, brother? Which man? Again, these are reminders unto us. These are reminders, right? And this is why, as you say, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. Right? Go ahead, read 35, Dr. Shah.
John chapter 13 and verse 35. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you have loved one to another.
And why? Because now this is a representation. This is this is the repetition of the Lord. Because now our King Yahushua, he holds a repetition of our course in being the most dedicated soul. This is my beloved Son, in whom is well pleased. Hear ye him. Because why? Pleased with the work that was carried out. And this is why the work that commanding General YAHANNA is carrying out, the Most High God or King Yahushua is pleased with it. This is why you see the school, as you say, school throughout the four corners of the earth. And the Most High God will always, move that spirit through the body. And what will take place, you're going to see certain examples being taken place. Because why? The Lord showed that, hey, as he said, when the return of our King, he cometh for a bride without spot and without blemish. So whatever needs to be, as he's shaping it, he's the potter. And he will shape us, because now, as he said, this is our requirement. And this is why, again, prophets are old. They, as you say, they prophesy, until the coming of our King Yahushua. And our King Yahushua, or Jesus Christ, he continued. And as you say, when the Christian pastors telling the laws on our way, he say, hey, nothing is done away with. He didn't came to change or do away with anything. But we lack understanding. And the one understanding that we lack is being a brother. This is why he could have said, on these two hang all. So every law, as we say, Baruch 4 and 1, the whole book, Joshua 1 and Joshua 1 and 8, read out of the book. The whole book, that laws, the instructions. But in order to understand these instructions, it must be a brother. You must have that spirit of being a brother. He demonstrated that. And this is why, again, in the I.S.U.P.K, under commanding General GEN.YAHANNA, again, it's the only place in the earth you'll find true brotherhood, true sisterhood. You find the truth. Right? Right? So again, these are reminders unto us. Again, again, shout out to, T. Williams, right? Shout out to, shout out to the T. Williams. Again, shout out to our brothers and sisters, on these platforms. Again, brothers and sisters who, uniquely fight that spirit. Fight that spirit, because now the spirit in Trinidad always want to be, they say, a layback spirit. Always do want to be, come out and as you see that, we say, hey, let me meet, because now understanding what it takes to build back or bring back a nation, take that spirit about that. And this is why Christ, when he tell him, and he say, hey, come, I will make you fishers of men. It's because why? Hey, this is the brothers and them you're going to meet. This is who you're going to, come up against. Right? Give me Ezekiel chapter 3. Right? Ezekiel 3. Ezekiel 3 and 17. Let me see what he's saying.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
Right, and why? Because now the Most High God, through his prophets, through the men that he was true, that choose, to bring this word, or as you say, this or records or reminder unto the nation. These men carry out these sayings, and it was recorded for us today. This is why, again, when we say we have the whole book, it lack nothing. Go ahead.
Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand.
Because now we have a duty job. And this job, just as again, he say, you didn't call yourself, he said, the Most High God called you to this. We didn't choose this. This is not like we, as we say, we 9 to 5, we just choose on a daily basis. This is why, when men come up, And men fall, victim or fall because why? Because what take over? That spirit of the society. And you now supposed to be a watchman. And this is why when men say the gates language, religious leaders feel they were supposed to have first preference in everything. Because why? They had, as I said, the book. And they were supposed to be leaders. And this is why when, it's a the gates language, because why? They remove or accept a gift and leave a nation, a people vulnerable to the elements of the society. And we thinking that, hey, it's okay because now, just as you said, a sheep without a shepherd, there's the end result. But notice, the Most High God always had a way, always provided a way, always make that pathway, always had a remnant. And I like that word remnant because why? The Most High has a reputation. And he say, hey, I didn't choose you because there was few in numbers. Your reputation will always at stake. And he say, you always use the less fortunate, or as we say, the thing that you would think it will be nothing. Just as the example of the mustard seed, small seed, and you sprout it up into be something that every fall or every bird. These are reminders unto us because why? This is required the watchman to, as we say, to do what? To warn the wicked from his ways, to save who? His life. Because why? We were reminded. Because why? In our time, in times past, we were the wicked, but we reminded. So now we require, hey, do the same in return. Go ahead. Verse 19, without question.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
And why? Because now this is where we time our fishing. And in that process, now the warning coming. Right? Again, right? With the time, we in this time. And this is why now, read over that one more time of Pusha. Salaki. Verse 19.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou deliver thy soul.
Right? And why? And why now you deliver your soul? Because why? You did that one thing. You didn't turn to the left or you didn't turn to the right. You reminded your brother just as as yourself. Just as yourself. But now he had again no regard for his life. So now that warning, again, or that judgment will come down on him. Because again, these are reminders, right? Rob, Daniel, right? Deacon, Pastor Ray Higgins, Lisa, right? And then explain, right? Explain Rob Bamel, right? What do you mean by that? Right? Again, in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, we are the priests and prophets, the men chosen to bring this out, righteous black men. Again, these records belong to us. These records is our history and our records as a people and as a nation. And this is why, again, every reminder that has been brought out is a reminder to us. us. Because why? We have that, as you say, that love or that care for people and our nation. Right? Right? Again, this is I.S.U.P.K. Trinidad and Tobago. Again, I.S.U.P.K. started along 121st Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yana. Right? And again, these are reminders unto us. Right? This is a reminder to our brothers, this is a reminder to our sisters that in Trinidad, if you're Black, Latino, or Native Indian, the question was asked, who's your brother? Your brother is the man in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yana. We would let you know the truth. We let you know, hey, everything or every custom or every way that they take up that is not of the Lord will bring, death and destruction to you and your household. And this is why these are reminders of us. Again, you can go up on our webpage, I.S.U.P.K. Trinidad and Tobago. You can type in, the number to call. You could send a message or a comment in the chat. We reply back to you. Again, this is a reminder, and that reminder is an invitation to our brothers and sisters to come in, to come home, to come back. As the scripture says, high time that we wake up or come out of sleep. This is an invitation that that we should not take lightly, because the Lord is reminding us of something, and He always brought us back or had a pathway back for us. Always had that way back for us, right? And that way is true. The men or righteous Black men teaching this truth, right? And with that, again, we Lord's 55th annual Passover again is coming up. Durham, North Carolina. Again, if any adults, 17 years and $200 is the fee, right? Passover fee. Again, everything is being, Commanding General Yana is continuing, to soldier on. And again, this is why again he's being mentioned as the hardest working man in Israel. Because why? Given that task, just like we watch the prophets, all of the men who will take that task, the Lord choose to raise up or to bring the nation out, was always men that had that spirit of the Lord. And Commanding General Yana has that spirit of the Most High and of King Yahushua. Because why? He followed Christ and we follow Commanding General Yana, because he followed Christ. Right? With that, class the priest and officer shall. Security. Check on it.
Security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 120th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanan. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest and peculiar person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to another brother or sister. There is another 6 months which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Child, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in Hebrew, as well as the Mishra. 10% of every penny I increase, the most I give you the Treasury Department for teacher priest fund. Free will offering for priest, non-mandatory. Whatever amount you like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, that will be the Feast of Purim. And that's the 14th day of the 5th, the 14th and 15th day of the 12th month. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminder Akyams and Akwacham to check on social media such as I.S.P.K, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISP events and material. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then you start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirt, like pants, like headband or scarf. That we say, imagine. On your them. We're going to say Lord Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Sasamayam, Kogash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Nakoka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Barateza, Awa, Ayah, Bashamayam, Natan, Nanawa, Nakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Noah, Abuwaki Noah, Asalak Noah, Abuwaki Noah, Wala'ah, Tabiya Noah, Tawan, Abal, Oshai Noah, Mayan, Rai, Ayah, Laka, Amlakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, Ailomian, Aman.
In English, our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. And give us debts, and we forgive our debtors, and lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. So, let's get teacher one curse to Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak. Yahweh Shema Shabakatam, Yadmata, Sa, let's get sisters online on Thursday too. And in class. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Yahweh Shema Tan Bashim Yadmata, class dismissed.